So, good day everyone. So, I am back again with the final topics for our history 10. So, the first topic that I will be discussing today is about the talisman for national stupidity of Rizal. So, in page 97, it states there that Rizal seems to have suffered the fate of most celebrities, taken for granted, an object of idolatry without any extraordinary significance. I bear it in mind since then that Rizal is one of the national hero who sacrifices himself for the sake of our country. I think Rizal is very valued hero among all here in our country. Like I remember in grade school, his statue stand behind the Philippine national flag, but a lot of his words, especially nowadays, are being forgotten. Some have mentioned his doings but had never deeply sympathized his deeds. His words are just used for good speeches, but had never internalized it and applied it in real life. It seems like our heroes nowadays are being forgotten. Sad, but it is the reality. Rizal has become the talisman for the national stupidity mainly because of what people are doing and using his name and quotes for political and mediocre aspects. Also, as an endorsement, which is not right. Rizal had fought battles for us Filipinos, and that should be an exact reason why we should respect his life and story. So, the next topic would be the Claro M. Recto and the Rizal Bill. So, the Rizal Bill Law, Republic Act 1425. So, in page 99, the Catholic Church branded the novels as harmful to Catholicism and would undermine the faith of the people. It prohibits Catholics from reading the novel by invoking Canon 13 in 1398. So Bishop Manuel Yap also warned legislators who voted for the measure is punished in the next election. Just look at how Spanish friars are manipulating and overpowering the Filipinos that time. So forbidding a novel to be read and punishing the ones who will read it. Spanish friars are just afraid of the Filipinos that time would be lightened up and will fortunately open their eyes. Rizal's novels serve a great purpose and it should not be forgotten. So that is why there is a law of Rizal, which is the Republic Act 1425. This act complete title was an act to include in the curricula of all public and private schools, colleges, and universities course on the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal. So particularly his novels Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. So authorizing the printing and the distribution thereof, and for other purposes. So the law recognizes the need for a rededication to the ideals of freedom and nationalism. So this is a significant law for it commemorates the life and sacrifices of our national hero, which is Jose Rizal. And then let's move forward to the Noli Me Tangere, his first written novel. So in page 21, Noli Me Tangere was a projection of the ills of the Philippine society. During the Spanish rule, it both satirized the friars as well as the Filipinos. Rizal's hatred to the friars was largely of domestic origin. So the friars were the landlords of a large hacienda occupied by his father. There was an annoying legislation between Rizal's father and his landlord. A few years later, by Villiers' order, soldiers destroyed the buildings on the land, and various members of the family were exiled to the parts of the island. So, I think Rizal had made this and his hatred towards the abusive friars are the main reason he come up on making this novel. So, as stated in this novel and the presentation of the societal illness of the Philippines, the abuses and injustice of Spanish friars were the main content of this novel. And most especially, the reason of creating this novel is his family. So, I had known this novel since I was in high school, since it was one of our topics and it has been taught to us. Rizal is a genuine genius in creating this novel. His way of revealing the truth is very unique. A few would understand what is the importance of this novel, but this plays a big part on revealing the brutality and injustice of the Spanish friars. So, let's move forward to the continuation and the other novel named El Filibusterismo. In page 28, the message of El Filibusterismo is clear. The present system of governing the Philippines through corrupt and self-seeking officials dominated by the friars and subservient of their interest can only lead to disaster for Spain. So by its nature and operation, the system inevitably drives all intelligent, geniuses, hardworking, courageous, and loyal citizens, even those most devoted to Spain, into opposition, crime, and subversion. So the government is arbitrary, cruel, and completely lacking in a sense of justice or of responsibility, and without interest or trust in the people it is to govern. So the message of this novel is very clear. Just like the novel Noli, it seeks to let Filipinos see and realize the cruelty, brutality, and injustice of Spanish friars. So overpowering someone is not right, and at the end of the day, bad doings will not succeed. It is just having someone to work for you and you have shown him or her bad attitudes. Then definitely he or she will left because a person could not endure such bad behaviors. So just like what happened to Filipinos during the time of Spanish colonization, one or a group of people must stood to let the whole country realize and let them gain back their freedom. Even the most faithful person could turn their back to you if you have abused such power. One of the main characters of this novel is Simeon. Simeon initiates the reader is made aware of the extent to which corruption and injustice exist in society. So it appears that the only alternative is a revolution. Abetted by the scheming Simon, who desires is to destroy the Spanish regime. So this noble representation of fighting back towards the Spanish friars to let Filipinos sees the corruption and injustice of Spanish regime. And then let us proceed to the next topic, which is Rizal and the problems of the third world countries. So in page 54, Rizal stated that the fourth problem of third world countries that needs to be solved is the importance of economic planning for development. So Rizal exposed the ridiculous, useless, and enormous expenses of rich, which did not foster national development. He denounced economic inequality and argued for the institution of egalitarian reforms and the enforcement of social discipline. In this statement of Rizal, it is very applicable, but none of this will happen. So rich would always choose to level up their state of living. They don't care of the poor and the poorest people. If a poor person could not strive for every day, they cannot eat 3 times a day. That is why economic planning for development is very important, as it gives cultural, social, economic employment that will provide the daily necessities of those poor people. With that, government should not allow the oligarchs to control the economy that provides and contribute for the development and progress of a certain state. So why not foster national development? The government should give more livelihood programs, job opportunities, and supply employment to foster or to raise the standards of our country. So when we talk about development, it is a way of creating growth of economy of a certain country while leveling up the state of being rich. Why not build some programs that could help poor people work and gain salary? While you are getting richer, on the other side, you are helping those poor people who are struggling in life. So the next topic that I have choose is the Jose Rizal's love and amusement. Rizal's philosophy of love. So I have choose the Rizal and Leonor Rivera's relationship. In page 85, the family of Rizal and Leonora Rivera was close. Rizal and Leonora were sincere and faithful with each other. They loved each other deeply and promised to live and to die for it. Rizal was determined to marry Leonora at any cost, life or death. Well, love is everything, and I have fully understood both of them, for I also have loved a person so much. So Rizal promised Leonora Rivera to marry her after he would be through in his studies abroad. Leonora consented to the plan she had to sacrifice much of for some time. So this was, of course, the first serious romance Rizal had ever experienced in his life. But life is unfair. It is indeed true that if you are not meant for each other, then it is God's will and plan. Let us go back to their love story, how they started. So their love story was perfect at the beginning. Rizal is the intelligent charmer, and Leonor was the beautiful student who had a beautiful singing voice and was a talented piano player, and soon they fell in love. But unfortunately, their love story ended up as a tragic one because Leonor's parents highly disapproved their relationship. So they tried to continue the relationship even in a long-distance relationship. But sadly, Leonor has been engaged to a British engineer, and soon they get married. As a person who believes in destiny, maybe Leonora and Rizal was not meant for each other. However, it is hurtful. It is a hurtful situation for them, for they both love each other. But it is what it is. Things happen and we must accept it. So the last topic would be on about the retraction controversy. So both have arguments that Rizal retracted and somehow Rizal did not retract. So in page 36, Garcia believed that Rizal's retraction still stands. The main point why he believes Rizal did retract because Rizal wanted to marry Josephine. Maybe love can make anything impossible. Somehow he didn't know because retraction controversy will still undergoes a debate. So, but in my own perception, what if Rizal really did retract? Because of Josephine, and there are some arguments for some reason may be used as evidence. On the day of Rizal's execution, he was then accompanied by 2 priests, and he kissed the crucifix before his death. So it is been believed that Rizal retracted because if he didn't, no Orients would accompany him, especially on that time. So this may be true because, but we cannot be sure because Rizal had a deep hatred towards Spanish friars. So however, in page 37, there are also a lot of controversies that Rizal did not retract because the copy of retraction paper was not the original one and full of inconsistency. So Rizal is known for his sacrifices and on freeing our country to the Spanish friars. And his arguments have also its point. Because why would Rizal retract for he fight towards the friars? Gagilonia found it hard to believe that Rizal retracted within barely 12 hours. He compared that Rizal while in Dapitan, where Rizal stayed for 4 years, the Catholic churches failed to extract one. So it emphasizes that during the last day and night of Rizal's life, none of the priests succeeded in convincing Rizal during their religious discussions or debates. This is why it is hard to believe that Rizal really retracted. So that's all, and thank you so much.